Hello everybody, Randy Bufford here, and wanted to first of all hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving week start holiday. You were able to spend time with family and friends, reconnect as you might like. If you were working and serving in some way over the holiday period, thank you for that service as well. We appreciate it very much. Now, this we go head out this week, we're going to be hitting December in the middle of the week, and one of the things on my mind is at the end of December, we'll be halfway through our pillar goal period. And I want to do a couple things. First of all, is highlight for those that are listening to this, because I can't reinforce it enough, how important the alignment of these pillar goals are with our culture, our mission, and values is. And then secondly, talk a little bit about how to use them. First and foremost, real quick, we read things from left to right, don't we, and top to bottom. So think about your pillars that way. Customers on the left, most important, but 1A right there with them is our employees, and that's you all. And right behind there are two service columns, and one more important than the other. Healthcare, just a tad bit more important than hospitality. Both important to our business model, but obviously the wellness and safety of our residents comes mission first. And then beyond that, you have growth, which is in everything we do, not just numbers and metrics, but personally as well as professionally. And then last but not least is the summation, and that is our earnings pillar, and that is the byproduct of doing all those other things well. Now, as we near the halfway point of our pillar period, which is December 31st, it's important to know that our pillars are becoming more workable documents. In the past, we put those up on the pillar boards and we kind of looked at them, and I'll get to some ideas about how to use them as a communication tool in just a minute, but we lacked the ability to access them quickly. And we now have that through our Key Stats dashboard, and they are right there in the Pepper report as page number 4. And it's really a usable document that if we're working with a campus or working at the home office, we can access these goals quickly, efficiently, and more importantly, I want us to use those as working documents. And if we need to change a goal or we need to make a notation around the goal, it's okay to go in there and adjust those, because isn't that what travel plans are about? As we journey on our best healthcare company in the Midwest mission, we have to change things, just like we've been working on changing our strategies around this post-acute transformation. We just didn't stick with the one plan, we changed it. And pillar goals are our action plans for 6-month periods. Don't hesitate if it's not working, or if we have another newer challenge to us, we might need to modify our goals a bit. And certainly the use of the pillar goals, by pulling them out regularly, will keep us all focused on where we're trying to head. And I think that's an important thing, because don't we all have a lot of intrusions daily? And whether it's in the operating side of our business, but most of them are macro to our business, and these are governmental changes. We've seen a lot of those recently. They may be market changes relative to what hospitals or ACOs are doing, or competitive changes, a couple new facilities open in a market. We have to react to those. Change our pillar goals so we can have those documented where we're heading, and then distribute those and make sure everybody understands where we're headed. Half the time when I'm working with people at campuses and I get to speak to groups, I ask them about the pillar goals, and 1 or 2 people will jump up and say, oh, that's what's on the back hallway. And I'd really, over time, and it won't be tomorrow because we got to work hard on this, I'd like to integrate those and make them a part of our cultural fabric at Trilogy, that's how we stay on track. That's how we lead and manage. It's in the context of our pillar goals. They're right there in the Pepper report. They can be accessed on the dashboard now. They're available for everyone to see. And by the way, everyone should be a part of not only knowing about them, but helping form them. What better goals can we create than those that we take the input of our other leaders? And so I want to encourage all of you all to think about our pillar goals this time period. Now, I mentioned, and I'll close with just a few final words. We're taking a journey, and I mentioned culture several times, and we're always looking for our GPS to guide us. And I think that's our mission and values at Trilogy. And I always talk a lot about culture, and we try to define it for people and let them understand what it's all about. And I read a really nice short article over the holiday week start that rang true for me, and it was really about how practicing civility pays off. And there was no secret when I read it, it was just more confirmatory that those leaders who treat their people great in those cultures that are positive, that are uplifting, that are supportive, that are no egos, no drama, no politics, you know what I'm talking about, that are like Trilogy, employees are like 55% more engaged, 92% more willing to do something. And isn't all that what we're looking at for in life, to make our jobs as leaders easier? So our investments in culture do pay off, and they pay off in having the right kind of environment where every employee feels valued, every employee feels supported, every employee feels loved and respected. And isn't that what Trilogy is all about? And as we approach the holiday seasons, I guess there's a lot of parallels I could make that I'll let you draw for your own. But I'm going to be out visiting 10 division parties. I'm going to be at a couple other Trilogy parties. I may ring in another, rehab or the pharmacy party if my schedule allows it. And yeah, that could be a lot of work, but for me it's not. It's fun because I get to see the best employees in the Midwest who share those values, who are part of that cultural fabric, and to meet the new ones and reconnect with the ones who have been with us longer than that. It's just a fabulous time period. It's part of our culture. So at the end of the video, I'll put a link in if you want to go out and read the Wall Street Journal article, as well as I've got another quote or two on culture I might throw in there as well, because it is our guide. Ultimately, pillar goals can guide us, over 6-month periods, keep our direction, but day-to-day decision making, when management's there, when it's not, culture is the one that rules the day. It is the reflection of all of our attitudes and all of our values. So work it. It makes your life a lot easier. If you're operating in a negative culture, life is tough. If you're operating in the positive Trilogy culture, life goes on blissfully. Have a great week. Thanks again for your service and everything that you do. Take care.